Welcome to Uncensored Pillow Talk. Today we are going to be talking about burlesque. What is it? How is it different from some other similar art forms? And I am one of your three hosts. I'm Jet Noir, and this is...
V.
I just got over a hemorrhoid. I'm Kyle Andrew.
Oh, good lord.
And we're here to talk about burlesque. So I have a question. I'm going to just start this off. So I see burlesque as very similar to drag. It's a very elaborate performance with very loud costumes that happen honestly in the same neighborhoods in San Francisco. How do you think that they're different?
Well, burlesque is... It's a parody first and foremost. And in addition to that, with what burlesque looks like today in 2019, there is often a choreographed striptease. And one really clear distinction between burlesque and drag is the lip syncing. In the world of burlesque, it's sort of this unspoken, dread when someone gets on stage and starts lip syncing. It's like, this isn't drag. Why are they doing that? And it's often not like intentional. It'll be kind of like just.
So each of the things you mentioned doesn't necessarily sound like they're unique to burlesque. Those are things that happen in drag too.
Sure.
I mean, the thing that I see as different, and maybe you have a different opinion, is that they're traditionally done and they're identified as genders, right? You have burlesque being done by females as female.
I'm going to stop you right there.
That's a no.
I'm going to stop you right there.
You are wrong.
No, because here's the thing. You may be familiar with the term boylesque, but the term boylesque was popularized in the 60s when what the men were doing was also known as female impersonators. Mm-hmm. And so, it's an antiquated word. It's still used because from a marketing standpoint, it's important for us to let the audience know that there will be people up here who identify as masculine performing burlesque. But burlesque is not a gender term. It means a grotesque parody. It doesn't mean, women performing a grotesque parody. It just means that. And so no matter what gender is performing burlesque, it's burlesque.
But there's a lot of cross-dressing going on in burlesque as well.
There's a lot of cross-dressing, and I would say that a lot of drag is parody. There's a lot of comedy numbers that come
But notice you're saying a lot of. I'm talking about all.
Oh.
There's a difference.
So I'm hearing there's no lip syncing.
Well, to be clear, yes, lip syncing happens.
It's very different.
No lip syncing.
So what I've seen happen is people will refer to.
Because drag queens have reveals all the time. They take off a clothes, they have like a cloak on, and they're like, boom,
oh yeah,
dress.
It's like, boom, I got 7 fucking outfits on. Yeah, it's amazing. No, what happens is when a burlesque performer is, implementing some elements of drag, like maybe they are, sort of doing a gender fuck, or maybe they are lip syncing, choreographed, intentional lip syncing, not the that's my jam lip syncing. And I was just saying how. When they're elements of drag, that's what it was. When they're elements of drag brought into burlesque, then it's often referred to as draglesque.
I feel like the entertainment part is very peekaboo. There's a sort of subtlety to it in burlesque that I don't necessarily get in drag. Or I feel like drag is just like bam from start to start. Is there a lot of sex? I mean, let's get to it. It's a sex talk show. Right?
Oh yeah, right about the sex.
Is there a lot of sex in burlesque?
How many
in burlesque?
How many backstage things are going on?
What's going on back there?
What's going on back there?
So what should be happening backstage is absolute professionalism. People are naked. People are that it's the space where people can safely be naked, right?
Sure.
So backstage, none of that shit should be happening. Now, if we're talking about like the
after party.
incestuous nature, that's the thing. There's not really like after parties or anything like that because so many people involved in burlesque lead like 3 lives. Whether they're like parents or already working 2-3 jobs because we live in the Bay Area or all of these things going on that there's no after party. It's like, I'm going to fuck home. I'm sleepy. And so sure, there may be a little bit of dating and things like that, but
so it's not this Caligula sort of community of people.
No,
I've about backstage.
So how is burlesque different than say stripping?
I think the really big difference there is that it's that line of blue laws. So as burlesque performers, we cannot, female nipples are not allowed to be on display because of that, most of the men in the industry tend to, or at least I can only speak for myself, we will choose to wear pasties because it's like, okay, well, if they can't, then we won't.
Isn't that cute? That's so sweet.
That feels cute.
Why can't we see the nipples? I mean, why is that?
Because
Law. Because we're lactating,
some stupid law, yeah.
Because we're all devoid of those nutrients, and we really just need to be, engaged there.
No more
I-
breast milk for you. I can tell you why. Actually, there is a law about nudity, because I used to work at all nude bars and bars that you could only wear bra, and you had to wear bra and underwear, and it's because there's alcohol. Where there's alcohol, you cannot show nipples.
Yeah. Now, and if we want to get real here. That's really just a matter of rape culture, because it's like, why do they feel like it's a dangerous mix of alcohol and nudity? Because
because it can be. Oh, stop.
and not just any nipples, female nipples.
right, it's like why is that a dangerous combination? It's not a dangerous combination if people were just like not fucking assholes and not being predators. So
we appreciate you. Thank you for not being
but
a predator.
it's about that
pervert.
time to wrap up the show.
We
It
are.
Yeah.
Oh God, that went by so fast.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into Uncensored Pillow Talk with our talk about burlesque. We've dived into this topic a little bit, but it's only 10 minutes for an art that's been around for such a long time. So if you guys have any thoughts, opinions, or questions, send them to us on Instagram.
Yes, Instagram, or what's our email?
Our email is
love when he does
pillowtalk@newsupnow.com.
Newsupnow.com. And listen, we want to make sure that you know that this is a safe place where you can send in your information, questions, ask us anything you want, but just know that no question is silly, no question is too taboo.
And to that end, what did we not cover about burlesque? Just be real specific. Like, hey, well, why didn't we talk about glove peels and right?
I want to talk about the tassels on the wiener. Those are great.
Twirling. What are you talking about? Why did we not talk about twirling tassels? Bring all of those things up when you shoot us an email.
Please do.
Thanks again, everybody.
All right. Bye now. Mwah.